People of different personality types can be in successful relationships if they understand type dynamics and do not try to change the person that they're in relationship with. So let's talk about that. My students used to ask me a lot, should I give my boyfriend or girlfriend a personality assessment before I marry them to understand, how successful we'll be in that marriage? Sure, I think that's fine. I think it's great. I'm always for everybody should take a personality assessment. But here's the thing. Don't base whether you're going to be successful in a relationship on if you have the exact same letters of a personality type, because that's dangerous. There's a lot of successful relationships where people are very different with their personality. Let me give you an example. My husband and I are not very different, but we have one letter different. I'm an ESFJ, he's an ESTJ. But the letter that we have different is a big one. It's decision making. And when it comes to being in relationship in a marriage, that's a big one, right? You're making decisions all the time with each other. So he's a thinker. He is analytical and logical and a problem solver. He looks at pros and cons. He looks at the data before he makes a decision. I'm a feeler. I make decisions based on values, on how the impact of other people and how it's going to make people feel and who's going to be affected by that decision. Now, I will get to the thinking side and he will get to the feeling side, but it's not where we go first. And that's what you have to remember about type. It's innately where you go first, which one is dominant. So to say that people of opposite types won't be successful is wrong. They can be successful, but they have to understand type dynamics and understand the preferences that their partner has. Because what happens in relationships, a lot of times the breakdown and the conflict comes from people trying to change the other person to think and behave and function and make decisions like they do. And they don't give the respect to the other person of the difference in that personality type. So if you are making a decision with somebody and you're not seeing that they are getting to the same place as you, ask yourself why. Oh, they're a thinker, I'm a feeler. I got to let them go through that process. They've got to let me go through that process. And we will meet in the middle after we've gone through that process and discuss. But if I immediately go to my husband and I say, why aren't you thinking about this? Don't you care? Why aren't you feeling what I'm feeling? Right? He's like, you got to let me get there. Okay? I got to do what I got to do. I have to analyze the situation. And so that's true for each of the letters. It's true for extrovert and introvert, for sensing and intuitive, and for judging and perceiving. So I would say, and I don't know if a lot of other practitioners would agree with me, but I would say you can have just as a successful relationship with somebody with all four letters different than you can with somebody that has all four the same. The difference is you will have more conflict arise. You will, because your personalities are very different. But you can diffuse it quickly by understanding each other better. That's the key. It's all about awareness and understanding. And you have access. If you have Google, you have access to understanding personality type. There's books out there. There's all kinds of things that you can read to find out what your personality type is and how to effectively communicate with people of opposite types. So I would say, yeah, find out what your partner's personality type is and then dig a little deeper and find out, how they prefer to function, how they make decisions, how they see the world. And if it's different than you, don't try to change that. They're not going to change if that's innately who they are, right? But you give them grace and you give them understanding and you say, oh, I understand why you're doing it that way. Because you're an introvert, I'm an extrovert. I understand why you are orienting that way, right? So don't ever think that you can't be successful in a relationship if your personalities are different. That's the point I'm trying to make, and I'm taking a long time to get there. But take an assessment if you haven't yet. There's a lot of free online assessment. I have a couple of videos up about all the different ways that you can take an assessment. If you want to take the official Myers-Briggs, you can go to their website and do that. That one costs. But don't hesitate in doing that. It's life-changing. It can save relationships. I've known it to save marriages. I said my husband and I have only one letter different. We've had very little conflict in our marriage. We're not one to have a lot of conflict. But when we do have conflict, and we have, just very little, but we have, and it's always around decision making. It's always around I want to look at the impact and the value of something, and he wants to look at the numbers and be logical. And he'll get to my side, and I'll get to his side. We'll get there. But the key is that I understand where he's going to go first, and he understands where I'm going to go first, and we give each other that grace.